is yet to speak days after cultists invade more communities in Rivers State. Governor Fubara to summon contractor over slow pace of project. PDP governors to meet ahead of NEC meeting. On a foreign scene, Peru's former president gets over 20 years jail term for corruption, money laundering. My name is Jude Omamegbe, and this is the news. Good afternoon. We begin the news this afternoon with reports from the flood-ravaged Akinima community in Ahoda West Rivers State, where the paramount ruler of Akinima community, Chief Mark Roman, is worried that governments have not been proactive in responding to flooding problems in his community. The monarch said this while speaking with correspondent Oyekachi Wosu on the reason why the community hall, which served as an IDP camp, was not immediately opened for the flood victims. Chief Roman alleged that the former local government authority failed to complete the toilet of the town hall despite collecting money from the community for the purpose.
The toilet place, they've not done it. This toilet we have done just last year. They promised us they are coming to 2 toilets. We gave them land. The land was trying to become an issue. We came in, the Akinima community came in. We paid some money to the landlords of the owners of the land. Thinking they would do, they didn't do anything because the flood didn't come. This is why we are not being proactive in the things the government does. This is a reactive measure, which is not good. If they were proactive, everything would have been in place. So now they are coming again. If this flood go down now, every person will go and last.
The paramount ruler of Akinima community also confirmed that the town hall has now been opened after the intervention of critical stakeholders.
As I'm talking to you now, even till now, the flood is still coming up, which is unusual. We didn't prepare for this on ground. However, yesterday came to do some work. They had to sweep the place, mop the place, put ISL and so on, prepared it. I just got a call this morning that they have proclaimed that people can now go and parking. So that's the position.
The monarch also appealed to the government and the other stakeholders to route their palliatives through the traditional rulers and not the local government areas.
They bring palliative. The palliative is kept in local government. They won't bring it. After when the thing is bad, I will start to bring. So palliative, we agreed. Palliative should be given to the Royal Majesty. Because not only Akinima, the Royal Majesty of the clan, Azumo, from him, the chiefs can take. Because this palliative is given to local government. The local government keep it there. So this thing should not be given to them, to the local government. It should be given to the traditional ruler. We know. We will be held accountable.
Meanwhile, River State Commissioner for Environment, Sidney Barra, has explained that the delay in the work of the 9-man flood prevention and management committee is due to ongoing efforts to engage stakeholders and set up necessary structures. Now, the commissioner said this on Nigeria Info FM's Morning Crossfire.
I know that Rivers people are eager to see committee swing into action, and I can tell you that whatever you want to do and get it right, you need to have the necessary engagement, put the relevant structures on ground to ensure that when you kickstart, you are getting it precise action. What I mean, anywhere or whatsoever, any location that this flood might affect.
Mr. Agbara also mentioned that some schools in Ahoda West have been affected by flooding and arrangements will be made for them to continue studies in the IDP camps.
In the IDP camps, there will be, provision for learning so that they don't lose out. The areas that are affected, definitely, we must make provision for the children to continue their learning, because children in the other areas that are not affected will continue with their school. So the curriculum is one and the same. Therefore, in the IDP camps, we are going to ensure that the students continue their learning. That's why we are equally inculcating the Commissioner for Education on this particularly.
The Environment Commission also said relief materials will be distributed before next weekend.
relief materials. That has to do with raw food, provisions. We have drugs. We have other household, materials like toiletries, beddings, wrappers, bedroom slippers, brooms, packer, treated mosquito net, disinfectants, and whatever you will need in your home. We are procuring all that alongside the food items. That Rivers people are going to see latest by, not towards this weekend, but next week. We are going to roll that out.
In response to complaints about the town hall being closed to flood victims, Chief Press Secretary of Ahoda West LGA, Esedi Joe David, clarified that access to the town hall is restricted since it serves as an IDP camp. He explained that flood victims are initially taken to the craft center before being relocated to the town hall. In the meantime, the Nigerian Institute of Town Planners has blamed environmental fraud and disregard for town planning procedures as the main reason behind the devastating flood disasters in Nigeria. The president of NIPT, Nathaniel Atebije, said this in Enugu. Mr. Atebije said that the recent floods in Borno State and other areas are a reminder of consequences of environmental neglect. In other news, the police are yet to speak 1 day after at least 2 people were shot dead in Igbo, Akko Kingdom, in Ahoda East local government area of Rivers State. The latest killing, comes after a day after 5 people were killed in Edeoha community of Pata Kingdom, also in Ahoda East, by suspected cultists. Spokesman of the kingdom, Hector Chinem, who made this known, said 2 men in military uniform dumped 2 bodies riddled with bullets at Odioku Junction early Monday morning.
Yes, it's true. At Odioku Junction in Olahoda community, in Igbaku Kingdom, in Ahoda East local government. Early this morning, we woke up only for us to see 2 Obu youths being gunned down by gun bullets, and we don't know the people. And as we speak to you, just barely 24 hours, that 5 persons were killed in Opata Kingdom, in Edoha community, barely 24 hours.
Now, he called on the River State Commissioner of Police, Mohammed Mustafa, to urgently intervene and strengthen security in the area as cult groups have invaded the communities.
Last night, we saw some group of youth moving around with overall and with this army raincape wear. And we don't know whether it is them, because these new boys now, we thought that this insecurity has made to rest. But never know that some of these remnants are still woken up again to disturb the peace of the place. We are also calling on this new TP to swing into action. 24 hours, we have lost close to 7 souls. We are all calling our youth to lay down their arms. Nobody is fighting with anybody, and we are reducing every day.
As you may know, the contract for the total remodeling of Okrika Grammar School was announced on the 18th of November 2023. Our correspondent reports that the governor also inspected the level of work on the Woji Akwajo Alesema Eleme Potako Refinery Road and Bridge. I beg your pardon. Now, moving on, River State Governor Siminalayi Fubara says he will summon the contractor handling government projects to re-emphasize their agreement and ensure that quality is not compromised. Governor Fubara said this when he inspected the remodeling of the Okrika Grammar School yesterday. The governor expressed dissatisfaction with the slow pace of the work at Okrika Grammar School, despite the positive assessment from the Commissioner of Education.
I'm not satisfied. That's the truth. The commissioner gave me the impression that 70% job has been done. From what I'm saying here, I need to take over the supervision of this project to make sure I give my people the standard Grammar School again. Before the end of this week, I'll have a meeting with all the contractors to read my riot act to them, because I've paid 100% of this project. So if I've paid 100% and this is the state of the work, then I need to do something about it. I understand the issue of price differences. We can discuss those variations, but the quality must match the amount that we spend.
As you may know, the contract for the total remodeling of the Okrika Grammar School was announced on the 18th of November 2023. Our correspondent reports that the governor also inspected the level of work on the Woji Akpajo Alessa Eleme Port Harcourt Refinery Road and Bridge. Students of Community Secondary School Rumapara in Obiakpo local government area say hygiene remains a problem, with their toilet facilities in urgent need of renovation. Our correspondent who visited the school observed that the students' toilet is in a poor condition. Both female and male students urinate behind the classroom, leaving the entire area with an offensive odor. Some of the students who spoke anonymously told our correspondent that only the teacher's toilet is in good shape. A large part of the school premises is waterlogged with overgrown grasses. Well, still to come, PDP governors to meet ahead of Thursday's Make or Mar NEC meeting. Stay tuned. Back to the major news right here on 92.3 Nigeria Info. My name is Jude Omamigbe. We'll continue our stories now with the Supreme Court will today begin this hearing of a suit filed by at least 16 state governments challenging the constitutionality of the laws establishing the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, and two others. A 7-member panel of justices led by Justice Uwani Abba Aji fixed the date after the states were joined as co-plaintiffs and granted leave for consolidation of the case in the suit originally filed by the Kogi State government through its Attorney General AG. Now, meanwhile, the Anambra State government has withdrawn from the suit. The PDP Governors Forum is to meet today to take a common stand on the crisis rocking the party ahead of its NEC meeting scheduled for Thursday. The governors' meeting is coming as the Party Reconciliation Committee briefs its National Working Committee, NWC, about its findings and possible recommendations.
And now, the business news.
To the world of business now, the federal government has revealed an ambitious plan to increase Nigeria's crude oil production by 1 million barrels per day within the next 12 to 24 months. In entertainment, the Lagos State Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice Lawal Pedro said the toxicology reports and other forensic analysis conducted in the United States on the late Mohbad is out. In sports, Leicester City and Super Eagles midfielder Wilfred Ndidi has become the 9th Nigerian to reach 200 appearances in the English Premier League. And finally, on the international scene, a court in Peru has sentenced former President Alejandro Toledo to 20 years and 6 months in jail. Prosecutors say he took $35 million for 2001 and 2006. He was arrested 5 years ago in California, where he had lived and worked for many years, and extradited to Peru last year. Now that was the news this afternoon, but before we depart, a quick recap. On the news this afternoon, you heard the paramount ruler of Akinima in Ahoda West, Mark Roman, has criticized the government for their slow response to the flooding in Ahoda West. Police are yet to speak a day after cultists invaded more communities in Rivers State. Governor Fubara is to summon contractor over slow pace of project. PDP governors will meet today ahead of the Make or Mar NEC meeting. And on the foreign scene, Peru's former president Alejandro Toledo has been jailed for over 20 years for corruption and money laundering. The news was edited by Oyekachi Wosu. To reach the news team, send an SMS or WhatsApp message to 0808-721-7215, 0808-721-7215. My name is Jude Omamigbi. Thank you for listening and good afternoon.